Thank you for joining me for another wow moment, and I hope you enjoy the conversation. I wanted to ask you a question, guys. What season are you in your life? Do you even know? If you do, congratulations. If you don't, it really is imperative that you find out. And the reason why I would suggest that is because there was a time during the Bible when the Israelites were in their wilderness experience. And in that journey that should have been 2 weeks, it took them 40 years for God to stretch them and work some things out to the point where the generation that went in, they all died off in the wilderness experience, and the younger generation survived it. That was the season of stretching. Then there's the season when they talk about the storm. There was a time when there was a turbulent storm going on, and Jesus was walking on the water, and Peter said to him, he said, "Lord, if that's you, bid me to come." Peter came out, and he walked on the water. I believe God was teaching him to trust, because for as long as he had his eyes on Jesus, he didn't fall. But the moment he took his eyes off of Jesus, he sunk. So during the storm is trust. During the wilderness, we're being stressed. We're being tried. What season are you in your life? And do you even know? Can you recognize it? There was a time in my life when I was in a dark season. I didn't know it at the time. I know it for what it is now because I'm older. And in that season, it was so dark. I was so depressed. I couldn't see up from down or down from up. I had to say to myself each and every day, let me write down 5 things that I need to write down. And these were reasons why I had to get up the next day. Oftentimes, I couldn't find anything to put on that paper other than I have to get up tomorrow. Can't end my life. I have to feed my baby. That was a season of depression. Or they called it a dark cloud. That's what some of my family members called it. You know, my spells. I had been having those kind of spells. I don't even know when they dubbed it spells, but, you know, years later it was diagnosed as being clinically depressed. But my family member called her, oh, she's having one of her spells. You know, I recognize when that is trying to come upon me now. I don't call it a spell. I don't call it a dark cloud. I look at it and I call it for what it is, a lie and not the truth. I have joy in my life and joy in my heart. And those spells, as they would have them called, I speak to them and say, get out of my life, return to sender. You don't belong. No longer am I in that season where I succumb to it, but I call it by its name. I call it to the man. I said, come on, we're going to fight. We're going to fight this out. What season in life are you in? Do you even recognize it? Can I submit to you that oftentimes the way we show up in and around our life depends on the season of life we're in. For instance, if you're in a season where you have health issues, you don't show up in and around your life the same way you would show up if you're perfectly healthy. If you're in a season of depression, you don't show up in and around your life in the way that you would if you were in mental soundness and wholeness and clarity. Are you following me? Are you tracking me, guys? We understanding each other? If you are in a season of lack, you don't show up in and around your life the way you did when it's a season of plentiful. There was a time when, during the Bible, you know, they said to, Joseph said to to the Egyptian government, to the Pharaoh. He said, listen, let's store up in these time of plenty. Let's store up in this plentiful time because there's coming a time of famine. So let's store up some things now. So when that time of famine comes, when that season comes of lack, we won't lack. And that was wisdom that he did that because people from all over came to Egypt in the time of lack so that they could have. Because Egypt, Joseph had the insight to store up. What season are you in your life? Because it determines how you show up in and around your life. Guess what else, guys? Yes, I'd like to submit this to you. Have you ever witnessed or bore witness to the way a person speaks, tells how they're doing in life? Give you an instance. If you are in a negative season in your life, you don't have very many positive things to say. And positive folks don't want to be around you. If you talk in doom and gloom, I'll give you, for instance, amidst this pandemic, there were a whole lot of buzzwords flying around and still flying around. Apocalypse, end of the world, doom and gloom, all kinds of things. Hi, Maggie. All kinds of things. But if you were in a negative state of mind, folk who was trying to be in a positive state of mind, they steer clear of you because you put a damper on their positivity. They're trying to keep the boat afloat, and your negativity is sinking holes in the boat. You understand me? You tracking me, guy? You understand what I'm saying to you? What season are you in life? And how that determines how you show up in and around your life. Guess what else, guys? Oftentimes, it determines your intent. Are you in a season of gain, selfish gain? Because if you are, then the things that you do, the underlying factor will be for your benefit, for your well-being. I heard a testimonial by Tyler Perry where he said that for 7 years, his play that he put on, that it failed every year, but he fell forward. But he said he believed that that was the case because he could only stretch his thinking past making enough money to take care of him and his mother. But once he changed his attention and said that he wanted what he did to inspire, to motivate, to empower others, that's when 1998, everything took off to the races and been taken off ever since. I'd like to submit to you today, guys. What are you intending when you do something? When you show up in and around your life, what is your intention? Is your life by design? You are forming it with your mouth, with your actions, with your intentions. There was a time in my life when I didn't believe that. When I believed that everything that befell me because, oh, woe is me. Nothing good could ever happen to me. But then I changed my mindset and I said, I'm the head and not the tail, above me and never beneath. Never again will I be the victim. I am victorious. And even when I'm losing, I'm winning. You following me, tracking me, guys? What season of life are you in? And how are you showing up in and around your life? Well, this has been another wow moment, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Please, wherever you are in life, continue to have conversations about life. They really are worth having. Until next time, you take good care.